Welcome to the Human Perspective. We're continuing to do interviews this week with people who are attending the National Council on Independent Living. And we have about 100 people with disabilities from 19 different countries in attendance. And we're going to talk right now, and I hope I say your name correctly, with Agnes Charlotta Fazekas from Hungary. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you grew up in Hungary. Could you give us a little bit of information about what it was like as a disabled person growing up in Hungary?
Yes. I was growing up in Hungary. I was born in Budapest, and I was really lucky because I had a very loving and loving family environment who were willing to support me to the greatest extent possible. And I attended mainstream education, which was also very good because my parents supported me to do this study path.
Did your parents easily get you into school, or did they have to really push to get you in?
They advocated strongly, but it was a good advocacy. So it was a balanced way of talking to the principals of the schools and explain that how we can work together, that I can attend the school.
Yeah, I think we hear often from people that we've been speaking to about the importance of parents.
Yes.
And how when parents are supportive of their children, even if they're not always successful at getting what they want, it's still very important for the children. So you're here at the conference also representing an organization called ANIL, the European Network on Independent Living. Could you briefly tell us what that is and how you got involved?
Yes. So ANIL is the European Network on Independent Living. It is an umbrella organization following the philosophy of independent living across Europe. They have represented in the 47 member states of the Council of Europe, and they are working towards the principles and the values of independent living. And across Europe, there are many countries who are members of ANIL and also having national independent living centers, and they are also advocating for the core principles and the deinstitutionalization, and also the Article 19, and they are working
Article
with 19, yes,
which is
the independent right to have the independent living.
Part of the Convention on the
Yes.
Rights of Persons
Yes.
with Disabilities.
Yes, and they are also working closely with different European bodies, including the Council of Europe and including the European Union, in order to make sure and ensure the rights of persons with disabilities.
I know that the National Council on Independent Living here was really excited when ANIL was coming, because the National Council in the U.S. and the Japanese Council in Japan and ANIL are similar organizations, and so I think it's really exciting that people are here. What do you do with ANIL?
Currently, I am a member of the ANIL Youth Board, which is the platform for young disabled people across Europe, and we are also supporting young disabled people to have their voice and also participate in different activities across Europe. And we are very excited that this network has been established. Officially, it has been running since 2015, when it became part of the ANIL constitutions.
So tell us a little bit more. Youth with disabilities in Europe, what are some of the challenges that they're facing, and what are some of their goals?
What we hearing from young people with disabilities across Europe, it's mostly that they face barriers in education and also after education, the next step is employment. And when we also ask them that what is the most important elements and what they are most fighting for, is they usually mention the accessibility, education, employment, because there are still various systems in terms of education and challenges to get access to also secondary or third level education.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that there are some countries in Europe that have made more progress than others on the inclusion of disabled people in society?
Yes, that's definitely there is, because Europe is so diverse,
Right.
you can definitely see differences. The Nordic countries and the Western European countries are more advanced, but also you can find challenges also in these countries as well. So we should not generalize, but also the historical backgrounds are also have an impact on the situation or on the countries, how their policies and practices are currently working.
And I would assume that one of the benefits of the coalition is you can easily share information so people can learn from each other about what has happened in one country and share it
Yes.
back and forth. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. So it's really a nice way that we can easily meet across Europe, and then we can share and discuss the challenges and enablers, what also young people, but also the general public experiences, and also we have different activities and events where we also provide opportunities that also young people can share their experiences, and they can learn what they can do more in their communities back at home.
Are you doing any work on refugees?
Personally, not so much, but I'm very honored to represent ENIL youth or young disabled people across Europe in the so-called Advisory Council on Youth of the Council of Europe, which is a platform of the Council of Europe for the youth policies and for young people, where different youth organizations are represented. And we also, it's like a very diverse group in order to ensure that we work towards the issues around youth. And yes, we do work around refugees and also young people with refugees. And when it comes to the intersectionality and the different backgrounds young people have, we also work united, and we share information, and we work on different policies and practices together. So if there is somebody or some youth organization more experienced in the field of refugees, we make sure that we sit together and discuss the different backgrounds and challenges young people face.
So let's talk a minute about you. What changes have you seen over your life in the area of disability? Have you also, have you always identified as being a disabled person, or is that something that's changed over the years?
Well, I've identified, and I was very grateful that during my childhood and teenager years, I had a very nice group around me when I was participating in swimming and swimming competitions with other young disabled athletes, and it was a really nice community around me. And later on, when I started working in different projects with ENIL, I also met other people, and we also shared our experiences together.
So sports has been a very important part of your life.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what are your personal aspirations?
Well, my passion is definitely education. I really enjoy both or different forms of education, either if it's a formal education or non-formal education. This is definitely my passion, and also leads every activity leads to the inclusion aspect of education, and I hope that I can continue different activities or different work around education in my future path.
Well, thank you so much, Agnes. I just met Agnes briefly yesterday and asked her this morning if she would come in and do an interview with us. And so I'd like to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Maybe we could end with, what does independent living mean to you personally?
It's a difficult question, but definitely that people can enjoy and can live their life as the fullest as they want, and yes, that we should find the ways that everybody finds their own perspectives and own things in life. And I know that there are a lot of barriers, but I hope that slowly we can work towards that less barriers will influence that people can live their life independently.
Again, thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
being with us, and I look forward to learning about you as you go back to Europe and the work that Emila is doing, specifically the Youth Committee.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.